Ridd today from Tasteful Occasions. She's a day of coordinator, and she's going to talk about some great tips that brides need to know to have a really stress-free, amazing, incredible wedding day. So why don't you start with your story? How did you get involved in day of coordinating?
So I have been in the business for a little over 10 years. When we moved out here to Pennsylvania, I got connected with my friend Kim, who owns Tasteful Occasions, and started serving for her, and had a background with day of coordinating and stuff through Ranch Catering in San Diego. So it just kind of evolved into where my skill set was, and super organized, and yeah, just kind of evolved into a day of coordinator.
What do you see as your role in a bride's life?
I kind of see my role for the day of a wedding for a bride is to basically take that pressure off of the different details and stuff that have to all come together on the wedding day.
It's so much stuff.
It is so much stuff. Coordinating with vendors, and then coordinating with the venue and different things, and problem solving. When, I have this kit that I get made fun of, that, I have this kit that has glue dots and sewing kit and all that stuff just in case something happens. But through my experience throughout the years, if you have it, then you can make somebody's day, and if you don't have it, then it could ruin somebody's day.
That's
so,
true.
It's the little things, definitely, for sure.
On the wedding day, what does a bride need to stay calm, to actually enjoy your day and not just be overwhelmed with all the details?
The most important part is if you as a bride are organized, and you have to give that power, that release, that you've done your best, you've gotten organized, from me, you've given me, we've had conversations, we've had pictures, we put together a lot of different details throughout the process, and starting 2 to 3 months before the wedding, so it's all fresh in your mind, and those things are coming together. If you stay organized, and you have a good person that you can trust to execute those, and seize your vision, and not try to take over what they think. Definitely it's important to have somebody that respects your vision for what you want. So,
and dreaming of this day, probably since you were a kid.
Exactly. So you don't want somebody else's, and I try to pride myself on that, executing somebody, I may not think, that may not be my taste, but it's definitely my bride's taste, so therefore that's how it goes. If that answers that question, I think.
I've had brides who, people are texting them where to park, or just
and those little details.
That should not be a bride's issue. Yeah. She shouldn't be thinking about that stuff at all. No,
exactly. So, and then vendor, issues, like if the cake's being delivered, those kind of things. Florist, those people all given my number so that I can correspond with them, so that the only thing my bride and groom have to do that day is hair and makeup, get dressed, because you're already nervous as it is. You don't need to be nervous about all those other things not happening. So definitely a good relationship with your coordinator, and let them. You got to hand it over. So it's really hard. It's really hard for me. So I get it. But if you can, I know, let it go. If you can let it go, try to let it go.
Yeah.
So.
And trust someone who knows what they're doing to get the job done.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So what is the most important thing, the absolute most important thing for a bride to have a stress-free day?
I would say the most important thing is just to keep it simple. Not plan so many things, just to, it's amazing to me how much people try to fit into one day. And if you focus on the things that are important to you, like if photos are important to you, and that's where most of your budget's gone, or whatever it is that is important to you, make your coordinator aware of that so that, you know, they can give you help with how to facilitate that. Because
the essentialism of
yeah,
weddings, right?
yeah, like for example, like with photos, and you want to get certain photos, and you're nervous, and you don't want necessarily your first look to be when you're walking down the aisle, and you want to have that intimate moment, and that's really important too. Then, you know, break tradition. Yeah, and I love first looks too, just for that reason, because that's something that for me personally I did not do, and I kind of wish I had you know, just that time before, because once the ceremony starts and that party starts going, and you know, it just kind of goes. And it happens really fast.
Yeah.
All this planning that you've done, all, you know, this year and a half, and
I hear that over and over. It was such a blur. I didn't even remember what happened.
to have somebody document it and have that be, that's, I mean, not that I'm saying that because, you know, you're interviewing, but it really is. But it is. But it really is an important piece. My wedding video and my wedding pictures are priceless, because there were things that I didn't realize what was going on when I'm just in one spot. I can't be everywhere. So I definitely say the most important thing is to pick the one thing or the two things that are really important to you and focus on those, and everything else will kind of go by the wayside. You don't need to have favors if you don't want to have favors. You don't need to have big, tall, huge, you know, floral arrangements. You can just have greens and candles, and that's really simple, and you know, so it definitely, you know, just, that's what I would say to any bride, is just focus on what's important to you.
Do you have any other tips for the newly engaged couple, or someone working on their dream wedding, for just
I
making
think
it stand out?
the one thing that I find, especially in this area, is that booking your venue.
Oh.
You don't really need to do any of those other details until, you know, a year out, but definitely once you get your venue, that you know, cinches up your date and everything. So that's like your main piece right there.
At what point of the process do you come into play as an event
So
coordinator?
as a day of coordinator, I'm usually hired right because the venue needs to know who their day of coordinator is, and they might have specific requirements. So I usually know from the beginning when they book the venue. But we don't do a lot of the hard nitty-gritty work until probably like 3 months before the wedding, because then you've kind of marinated and you have all these ideas, and then you kind of bring them together to focus, because that's the thing is, like I said, if you keeping it simple requires that, you know, some things go and some things stay, and you know, and it makes it easier, and it's elegant that way too. Simplicity, you don't need a lot, especially at some of these venues, you know, they speak for themselves. Yes, you're paying so much money for this venue, you know, show it off and just kind of do little touches, you know, so yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts for brides in 2018, 2019?
Use me as your day of coordinator.
You can find Nikki at Tasteful Occasions.
It's actually, our website is eventsbytoc.com, and we're on Wedding Wire, so if you want to see our reviews and stuff, we have lots of reviews there too. So, but yeah, so thank you.
Awesome. Thanks. Glad you're here.
Yes.